Number 1, we're going to be hearing voices at a store. A company called Holosonics has developed a technology called the Audio Spotlight System, which uses tiny speakers to focus sound into a very narrow beam. Interesting. Ultrasonic frequencies are too high for the human ear to hear, but as the sound travels from the Audio Spotlight System speakers, air distorts the sound and makes it audible. It's perfect for in-store advertising, but you'd have to be standing in the right place to hear it.
What? That's nuts! What? 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 You could barely hear that. That was like Sonic.
That was pretty
Sonic.
That was pretty Sonic. I don't really understand how that works at all.
No.
But I mean, I guess that makes it a future technology. This is just a person in a grocery store.
Yeah, look at them, look at that soap.
But I guess that's like that's what it is. You know, you'll just be looking at soap and then you'll hear it. Is that the idea?
Like, whoa. I don't know.
That's very confusing to me, guys. Audio Spotlight System.
Number 2, DNA hacking. When the human genome was fully mapped in 2003, researchers around the globe began to dissect the genome's 3 billion plus base pairs for the root causes of diseases like Alzheimer's and common cancers. Awesome, love that. But that was only the beginning. The real dream of biotechnology is not only to understand how our DNA expresses itself, but also to write a new DNA that heals disease and repairs bodies from the inside out. J. Craig Venter, the bio-entrepreneur whose company helped map the genome, but reached a new milestone in 2010 when he built the world's first synthetic self-replicating chromosome. He loaded some homemade synthetic DNA into a bacterial cell and watched it grow and divide according to computer-generated A's, T's, G's, and C's. By his own reckoning, he had created life. Shut up! Shut up, God. Yeah, you're
That's
God
cool.
now. That's so cool.
That's cool, dude.
I hope your friends call you God, just for jokes.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because that's awesome, man.
Yo, if you could get spliced with anything, get any gene in you that you want, what are you putting in?
Oh, really? That's
Yeah.
that's a good question.
Yeah. What do you want?
Like being a chameleon would be pretty cool.
Being a chameleon would be pretty sick, actually.
I'd be amazing at hide and seek.
You would be pretty stellar at hide and seek. Yeah, I mean, we could be. That would help. Be very beneficial for the ghost hunting too, because
Yeah,
you ever did
I could scare the ghosts.
You could scare the ghosts. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like they're like, oh my God, what?
Whoa! It's like almost like Rachel Fisher, the first human to scare a ghost. What about you?
I don't know. I think I'd be like a human tiger or something, or like a human like killer whale, just like be in the sea, you know?
Nick the whale.
Number 3, Cyberwar. In 2013, FBI Director James Comey predicted that cyber attacks would soon overtake traditional international terrorism as the greatest threat to homeland security. 2008, Georgia suspected Russia of denial of service attacks. 2013, South Korea accused North Korea of cyber attacks. Hackers have taken on the Pentagon and some suspect terrorist organizations of training their operatives to launch computer assaults. Educating people about computer viruses and Trojan horses will help, and using updated antivirus software is also important. Cyber attacks actually might be useful tools against machines that have learned to think for themselves and chosen to eliminate humanity. We went there right at the end.
Dark.
Yo, you know, craziness. When I was doing some research on some cyber attacks in the past, I think it was 1999. NASA and the American defense, like the Pentagon, all of America, they got hacked by a 15-year-old.
Yeah, they did.
A 15-year-old
Yeah.
hacked NASA and the entire United States defense.
I mean,
that is scary, though.
Yeah, and when you think about it, like 15-year-olds used to run the world like centuries ago, because we could only live to about 30. So by the time you were 15, you were like, hey, he's king now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't discredit 15-year-olds.
That's definitely a different thing, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it is, but like, it's also like, you know.
Yes, I do understand.
I believe it. That was a stupid point made by me, but like, you know what I mean.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like, I gotta hope that by now our firewalls can be better, because frankly, it's like, it's a little bit disheartening to me, or concerning is the better term, that 15-year-olds can like launch a rocket.
That is terrifying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. They can launch a rocket and eat like sugary cereal for breakfast. Number 4, the technological singularity. Artificial intelligence has come a long way since computers first made the scene. Yet we're not at the edge of a dystopian society in which the machines run amok and humankind fights for its survival. In 1993, Werner Vinge, a math professor at the San Diego State University, proposed what he called the singularity, a time at which computer networks may become self-aware through advanced AI and interfaces between people and computers help humankind evolve. Biological advancements may become so sophisticated that doctors can even engineer human intelligence. There is a possibility, however, that AI might allow machines to take over the world. There's no guarantee that such a scenario will really happen, and technological limitations may prevent it. I hope so.
What are your thoughts on that whole thing?
Like
on the
AI
whole,
taking
like,
over the world?
Yeah. What are your actual thoughts on that?
I mean, I wonder if it kind of already has based on our dependency on it.
Okay. Well, let's
You know what I
take
mean?
off the whole, like sociological element
Like
that you're putting on there
robots,
right now. I mean,
actual
like,
robots
yes.
Okay. Like, will it happen, or what do I think about it? Like, is it a bad idea?
Yeah, I mean both.
Okay. Could it actually happen? I mean, maybe. I
Right.
do think that, like, hopefully, there's always a chance. But I do think that, scientists are really well aware of that fear. But I'm also more afraid of their innovation. Like, they're kind of like, no, let's just see how far we can go. Like, I bet you there's one scientist who's like, can this happen? I just want to see if it does. I just want to see if it does, guys, and then I'll figure it out. You know what I mean?
Well,
But
maybe. And
I don't think it would be a good thing.
Okay, you don't think it'd be a good thing?
No, I
Gotcha,
don't think it would be a good thing,
That's not
obviously.
the natural progression of
Unless they
of
were
the world.
really, really, really nice and they helped everybody get along nicely.
Okay.
And like a non like totalitarian way.
Got it.
That would be nice. Like, just like everybody could just be nice.
Number 5, driverless cars. Driverless cars used to be the sort of thing you'd see in sci-fi films, but in 2018 they became a reality. Autonomous car technology is already being developed by the likes of Lexus, BMW, and Mercedes, and we've even tested Tesla's driverless autopilot system on UK roads. Across the Atlantic, Google is developing its automated technology in the wild, and Apple is rumored to be working with BMW on its own probably automated car. One of the biggest concerns about driverless cars isn't the software glitch, but the awkward transition from robot mode to human mode. Although autonomous cars will need better, more connected infrastructure to function effectively, they still face a larger, more unpredictable factor: us. Humans present problems for autonomous cars as both drivers and pedestrians, and dealing with our unpredictable behavior represents a significant challenge for the technology. Also, too, hacking.
Yeah, no, okay, so there's that show on Amazon called Upload, and like one of the characters' like car gets hacked and then he ends up crashing and dying. Would you own one?
See, I did a top 5 video about this the other day, and yes, I would, but I don't want to be one of the first forefront people that is hopping into one of those things, And also, too, it's like we want to talk about like cyber attacks, like and stuff like that. I mean, like, you could straight up like take one of these things, take a automated van, nobody's in it, and cause complete chaos.
That's also a thing.
That's
really
scary
have
to
think
me.
about that.
That's scary.
That's really scary to me. Like,
You know?
like when things are just like when people can be as far away from a situation as possible. Like,
Yeah,
it just
be in another country for all you know. Like,
yeah. And I know, like, the worst thing you can think of, someone is probably thinking about doing it.
oh,
Crazy, right?
Hate that. Hate that.
Number 6, geoengineering. The most important engineering innovations of the industrial age are motorized vehicles, electricity generation, and industrial manufacturing are the greatest sources of CO2 emissions. Since world leaders appear unwilling or unable to take meaningful action to reduce greenhouse gases and emissions, some maverick scientists are proposing a risky solution called geoengineering. Geoengineering uses science and technology to hack the planet back into shape. Since global warming is the biggest threat, scientists are proposing creatively creepy ways to artificially cool the atmosphere by either blocking the sun's rays or sucking up excess CO2. Spraying chemical aerosols like sulfur dioxide into the atmosphere to bounce a fraction of the sunlight back into space, pouring iron into the ocean to spew algae blooms that consume CO2, spraying a mist of seawater into low-lying clouds to make them brighter, reflecting more sunlight, planting forests of artificial trees that use chemical reactions to absorb and store CO2. I like the planting forests idea. I don't like the idea of blocking the sun. I think that's ridiculous.
These all seem pretty risky to me. Granted, though, I mean, we're going to be doing the exact same thing. Well, not the exact same thing, but very similar things on Mars if we ever want to live there.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, we could practice.
I mean,
we gotta practice here.
We gotta try out somewhere, right?
But at the same time, it's like, what if we make it worse?
Bit of a risky
But can
one.
it get worse? Can it?
It can always get worse.
It can always get worse.
Number 7, nanobots. Nanorobotics is an emerging technology field creating machines or robots whose components are at or near the scale of a nanometer. Nanomachines are largely in the research and development phase, but some primitive molecular machines and nanomotors have been tested. Biological machines could be used to identify and destroy cancer cells. Let's go! Another potential application is the detection of toxic chemicals and the measurement of their concentrations in the environment. Rice University has demonstrated a single molecule car developed by a chemical process and including Buckminster fullerenes for wheels is actuated by controlling the environmental temperature and by positioning a scanning tunneling microscope tip. According to some futurists, in the next 10 or so years, your blood could be streaming with tiny nanobots to help keep you from getting sick or even transmit your thoughts to a wireless cloud. They will travel inside you on a molecular level, protecting your biological system and ensuring that you'll have a good and long life.
But then again, hacking! Like, ooh!
They're gonna hack my blood, dude? You're gonna hack my blood? You would hack my blood.
I wouldn't do it.
I would hate that for you. I would be very upset if you hacked my blood, Rachel.
The only reason I would hack someone's blood is to be like, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting yourself. Sorry.
I would hate that too.
But this gets me excited and terrified at the same time. Because I'm also like, there are benefits, of course, amazing benefits, but there are also obviously the downsides. But I'm curious. I honestly think that this is the direction we probably need to go in because the further, the closer we get to finding out diseases before they happen, the longer we'll live. Mind reading, oh come on. Scientists from the University of California at San Francisco and the University of California at Berkeley reported that they had produced a device that could read a person's mind. Their findings, published in the New England Journal of Medicine and funded in part by Facebook, describe efforts to connect the brain of a stroke victim directly to a computer with software to interpret his thoughts. I love that. The work is preliminary, it involved just one patient, required dozens of sessions to train the system, made use of a vocabulary of only 50 words, and was only about 50% accurate. But this technology, already a breakthrough, will only improve. I love this. I love this because there's so many people who are nonverbal and who would just oh my god, it would be an absolute gift if this could be a thing.
Yeah.
Right? And
if it's used properly.
Oh
if it's used properly, which so rarely good technology is.
Okay,
but.
you mean with actual mind reading and things like that?
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Exactly.
Number 9, Metaverse. The term Metaverse was originally coined in Neil Stephenson's seminal 1992 cyberpunk novel Snow Crash. In the book, the Metaverse is a shared imaginary place that's made available to the public over the worldwide fiber optics network and projected onto virtual reality goggles. In it, developers can build buildings, parks, signs, as well as things that do not exist in reality, such as vast hovering overhead light shows, special neighborhoods where the rules of three-dimensional space-time are ignored, and free combat zones where people can go to a hunt and kill each other. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg said the Metaverse will bring enormous opportunity to individuals, creators, and artists, to individuals who want to work and own homes far from today's urban centers, and to people who live in places where opportunities for education or recreation are more limited. A realized metaverse could be the next best thing to a working teleportation device, he says. With the company's Oculus division, which produces the Quest headset, Facebook is trying to develop one.
I don't know how I feel about this. I'm like, oh great, we won't give you a real home, we'll give you a fake home. That's nuts.
I'm down. I believe we live in a virtual reality already, so I'm ready to go.
Anyways guys, that's all the time we have for today. I've been your host, Rachel Fisher.
I've been your host, Nicholas Playlog, and we'll catch you next time.
First?
I would actually like to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 if we ever did want to get this done.
So A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B, A, B.
That's the way.
Yeah. You go first then.
Okay. Alright, number 1, hearing voices at...
A store.
Okay.
Take it seriously. Ring serious.
Yes, of course.
Wait a minute, can we scroll up to the actual title of this video? Because I forget what it is. Because what?
Scary
Oh, so it
future
is a future technology that it's gonna happen. Okay. There is a possibility, however, that AI might, oh god.
And we're even testing, a little bit more please, Christopher. Although autonomous cars will need...
Oh, I hate when they're there.
Yes,
okay.
I hate that too.
Sorry. Things interface with this thing and it's really annoying.
Buckminster
What?
Buckminster fullerenes. What the hell is that, man?
Buckminster fullerness. We're just gonna ignore that word. Buckminster fullerness.
Okay, and including Buckminster fullness. And including Christopher! Stop!
going away. Help.
It's going away, man.
Help.
Sorry, Chris. I know I'm taking time right now.
Yeah, it's 15.
Then.
End it, let's go.
All right. God damn it. I had something really important to say there, but